Hey everyone, what's going on? It is Zach, and at 2 a.m. yesterday, Nintendo and Pokemon announced that it was bringing Leaf Green and Fire Red to the Nintendo Switch, and it got a wide range of reactions all around the internet, so let's talk about it. And if you guys enjoy this, don't forget to like and subscribe and hype up the video. First of all, people were wondering why 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some people think it's because it accidentally came out on the eShop early, so they had to announce it. I don't think that's the case because the press release was quick and it was available for pre-order, and I think that's something like to have the game available to pre-order, that's something you have to purposely do. Some people think that it was announced early because this info already leaked out. This could be a possible thing, but that would validate any leaker who revealed this information, and I don't think they want to validate them, even though they kind of did anyway by showing that this was true, but it was going to come out eventually. I think it's because they wanted to hype up Pokemon Day. 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is honestly just 4 p.m. in Japan on a Friday, so maybe they just wanted to give people good news for the weekend. These are going to be standalone games, not connected to Nintendo Switch Online collections. This means I don't have to eat a Pokemon card just yet. But these games are releasing for $20 a piece, which I honestly don't think is too bad. Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal came onto the 3DS Virtual Console for $10 a piece, so going up $10 10 years later honestly isn't too bad. $10 for Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and then $20 for Game Boy Advance kind of honestly makes sense to me. I'm not really trying to argue with anyone on the price. If you think it should be less, I don't blame you. I would like it to be less as well. But 20 is kind of what I expected when I heard this news and when we talked about them coming as standalone titles on the Nintendo Switch. So if we go down and look at this little blurb here, these features are one of the things that actually really bugged people. They will not have online trading or online battling, which I agree. This is a bummer because you could have done Wi-Fi battles in Leaf Green Fire Red, and that could have been pretty fun, but they ruined that. I've seen a lot of people saying that this feature is built into the Nintendo Switch Online collection, so they could have easily added this to the ROMs that they are releasing, and I honestly agree. I don't know why this is only going to have local like connection. It really doesn't make sense to me. Maybe we'll see the online one day in like an update, but probably not. They're not going to add anything. So for anyone who wants to trade or battle, it will have to be done locally. And honestly, I don't have many people close to me that will be playing this. So maybe I can arrange something at a VGC local event if I ever get time to go back to those again, or just play a second version on another Switch and trade it with myself like I've been doing since multiple DSs on Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Next is the home connectivity. Now, if we look at the Cerebi page right here, it says that home support will come soon and that they actually scrub this from all of the news announcements. So we can assume that it will be here one day, but honestly, I think the reason why they were scrubbed from the pages is one, I think they're going to wait for home connectivity and sit and wait to see what people do with these games in terms of bugs and exploits. They don't want a situation like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, where people are able to really exploit them because they're based off of old games and everyone already knows the bugs and the exploits. They're probably going to wait to see how much we can do with these bugs and exploits before they open up home connectivity. Also, like if you think about it, the RNG manipulation community and the automation community are going to run wild with these games. So they'll probably see how that goes before they link it up to Pokemon Home. We can assume, like I said, that Pokemon Home connection will come eventually, but honestly, don't buy it with that expectation. You should never buy something with a feature that's not there yet. But if you do want to buy them early, you can go ahead and grab an eShop gift card with my Amazon affiliate link in the description down below. I would also say that if you are going to pre-order just one of these games, I would check Cerebi for the list of version exclusive Pokemon so you don't miss out on your favorite Mon. Another thing people discussed was the lack of other mainline games from the Game Boy Advance, uh, specifically Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I will say that when we saw Red, Blue, and Yellow join the Virtual Console on Pokemon Day in 2016, Gold, Silver, and Crystal actually came about a year and a half later, so I kind of would expect it down that timeline as well. Maybe for the 27th anniversary, we'll either get news of Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby coming, or they'll drop next Pokemon Day. Now, here's the big issue that a lot of people were really talking about is, why should I buy these when I can just play a ROM on an emulator? And honestly, like I said, I'm not really here to argue with people. I just have a few thoughts. One, Nintendo doesn't believe in emulation outside of their ecosystem, so that option doesn't appear in their heads as an option for people unless they're talking to their lawyers. A lot of people claim that they use emulation because games are no longer officially offered by the company or by the publisher, so they can't actually pay for the game, so they emulate it. Well, now it's going to be available, so if you want to play it, you can buy it now again. If you want to do that, go ahead. Don't forget to support Game Freak, the small Japanese company. Some people, like myself, like playing on official hardware, even if it's not the original hardware. I've never really enjoyed playing Pokemon on the PC or on my phone. I've tried it. I'm not going to lie to you. It never really appealed to me. It's just something about holding Nintendo hardware and doing it. Feel how you will about that. I know that people feel differently about that. Another thing is some people also own their original copy still, and I'm jealous of you, and I don't blame you on that one. If you still own your copy of Leaf Green or Fire Red and it still works, play that instead. Like, that's probably way better. That's original hardware. Some people want the home connectivity like myself, but once again, right now, we know that it might come soon, but that's not officially stated yet. It was scrubbed from the press release. And honestly, the last point is, if you don't want to buy it, then don't. No one's forcing you. This is where I don't get all the fuss. Honestly, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Like, stick to your guns. Vote with your wallet. Don't buy it, but don't get upset at other people because they do want to buy it. Don't get mad at Nintendo because it's available now, especially if you're one of the people who say that one of the reasons why you emulate is because it's not officially available. It is officially available now. If you don't like the price, then don't buy it. I don't know what to say beyond that. Like, I get if you're like, I've been playing this game on my phone. Like, I have a buddy who has been playing Fire Red on his phone for like 2 or 3 years now. If he's okay with that, that's fine. If you're okay with that, that's fine. I will say, if you're complaining about the price, like if you want to buy an emulation device to play these games on an emulation device, that's still going to cost money. If you're playing on a PC, like, of course, yeah, you already have your PC, but your PC costs money. If you're playing on your phone costs money. So either way, like, you had to spend money to play these games. If you don't own a Switch 2 or a Switch 1 and you want to play these games, play them the way that you can play them. I'm not going to really gate people. If you enjoy this game on a phone, on an emulator, on a PC, on official hardware, that doesn't bother me at all. But like, I'm also not going to harp on people if they want to buy it officially, because I'm going to. And I knew this was going to happen. Eventually, I didn't know it was just going to be with Leaf Green and Fire Red. I thought they would probably drop everything, which they might still do. But this makes me wonder, if this game is $20, if they do eventually get to the DS and the 3DS titles, how much will those be? I want to say, if we ever see like the DS titles, they will probably be like $35. I wouldn't see them at 40. I also wouldn't see them at 30 because they're definitely going to have to tweak it with the two screens. So I would have to say that they're probably going to be more than 30. But the last thing I do want to address is something that Philly Beats You posted on Twitter, and it's from the Nintendo support page on this game as well. So they said, are these original versions of the games, have they been modified in any way? They're really saying that some of the specifications may differ, but broadly speaking, this is just the original Fire Red Leaf Greens versions that you saw. It talked about how because of the hardware, you can only use local wireless connection, which once again does not make sense to me. But you can use game chat. You can talk to people and play it, but over the internet, but you can't do anything else. Doesn't make sense to me. You don't need Nintendo Switch Online to purchase these games or play these games. Online play is not supported. They're just really harping down on that. Online play is not supported because there are going to be people that gloss over this fact or haven't heard about it, and they're going to buy these games and they're going to be irritated, and Nintendo's going to be like, we told you. Well, these come to the Game Boy Advance Classic Collection. These games are being offered as standalone titles and not planned for release as part of the Game Boy Advance Nintendo's Classic Collection. So, like I said, they're never going to drop these mainline Pokemon games on the Nintendo Classic Collection. They're really not. Why would they do that? Because they're going to make money from this, and they want to make money. Like I said, if you don't want to support it, just don't buy it. Why are you handling these differently? They give some crap answer. We thought it would be fun to release the Kanto games with this special release. No, they're handling them differently for money. They want the money. If you're celebrating 30 years, why didn't you drop red and blue version? I kind of thought they could do both, but they're saying we thought that users will appreciate the ultimate version of the original adventures, which add various features and upgrades to the content of Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. I think that's just like a PR answer. They could have definitely also put red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal on the eShop, but they're not doing that yet. Will you add the original Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue to the Nintendo's Classic Collection? If this happens, like I said, I will eat a Pokemon card live on camera, but they basically gave you a not a yes but not a no answer, where they said these are the games available, and I notice how they don't bring up Coliseum, so that makes me wonder that like they could have at least been like, Coliseum, it's on its way, but they say we have nothing to announce regarding any potential titles. So they didn't say yes, but they didn't say no. And basically everything else is like eShop, blah, 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 blah. Make sure that you get the right language. It's only going to have the languages available that was originally available, which I guess is English, French, and Spanish. So hopefully you speak one of those languages or know enough of that language to play the game. I mean, it's Pokemon. When it comes down to it, like, you could probably figure it out. I know that people still do that. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about the whole emulation thing because I think it's silly. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you want to emulate it, emulate it. I'm gonna buy it. That's about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me which version you're getting in the comments down below. But until next time, I'm Zach, and we'll see everyone later.